Hello. So if you're watching this, it means that you want to learn how to use the app iNaturalist. Good plan, because this is one of the best apps ever made. iNaturalist is a citizen science app, and it's an open source platform which allows you to submit data and observations of things that you see around you to an international database used by scientists and others to learn more about biodiversity. And also, it helps you to learn more about the environment around you. So let's get to it. So here we go. iNaturalist is the icon in the middle of your screen. It's the bird, the green bird in the white circle. You're going to need to download this from the App Store, and then you'll need to register with a username and password. Once you've done that, then you're ready to get started. All right, so I've just opened iNaturalist, and you can see my screen. This is my observation screen. And on here, I've got some data at the top. Observations, this is the number of things I've submitted to the app. So there's 4,740. The second one is the number of species that I have observed, and I've got 1,560. And then the third one, the 798, are identifications. That means that there's 798 other people's observations that I've looked at, and I've verified the identification of the species. So here it shows all the things that I've observed. And if I was to scroll down, we'd see 4,700 little boxes like this. And it's kind of cool to have this because you can look down through here and sort of get, it's a nice little memory of what you've done. All right, and then if I want to look at one, let's look at this, which reminds me of when I went to the Everglades, Florida cottonmouth. It gives me the name of the species. So if I had seen that and wanted to know what it was, I'd just go to iNaturalist and it's going to tell me. So it's a Florida cottonmouth. It tells me the date and location of my observation. And then this little icon in the middle, that one, I can click on that and it tells me if other people have come in and verified my ID, and they have. So everyone agrees, yes, this is a Florida cottonmouth. So that makes me feel pretty secure about my identification, and it also makes this what they call research grade, which is really good. All right, so how do you add an observation? So what you're going to do, and iPhones and Android devices are a little bit different, but it's pretty similar. So down there at the bottom of the screen, there's a little plus sign in a green circle. On the iPhone, it's actually going to be a little camera, and it'll say observe. You click on that, and it's going to take you to this screen. I can do this one of two ways. The way I'm going to show you first is the way I personally prefer, but the other way might be a little easier for you. So what I like to do is go out and take all of my pictures, and then I like to come back and do all my uploads when I get done. So I'm going to go to the little top right icon that says choose image. I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to go, this takes me to my photo library, but unfortunately it only goes so far. So to see all of your pictures in your photo library, you go to the top left, those three bars, and then you go down to photos, and then you go back up to photos, or you can go to camera, and that's going to take you to your photo library. All right, so I'm going to do this top one. I can click. The nice thing about doing it that way is I can select as many pictures as I want without having to put them in one by one. So I'm going to pick these 4 photos and hit done. Once I do that, iNaturalist is going to load it in, and you'll see it here. All right, so I've got 4 photos, and I want to pull them up for just a second. So there's a few tips about how you should take pictures in iNaturalist. One is you get really close to your subject. One is if it's a smaller subject, put your hand behind it, and that does 2 things. It helps the camera to focus on your smaller subject, and also it helps provide scale. One is to give multiple perspectives from different angles, and so that gives the app a little bit more opportunity to figure out what it is you've taken a picture of. All right, so I've got 4 in here. I can pick the one I want to be my main photo by clicking on the little circle below the photo. So there, I could do that one if I wanted. And then I'm going to go down to what did you see? And this app uses artificial intelligence, and it compares your photo with all the other photos that have been taken, the millions of photos that have been taken, to try and determine the best possibility for what you saw. Well, this right here says American pokeweed, which I know is correct. But I'm always going to click on it and take a look. All right. So there's multiple photos, and I want to see if that looked like what I did. I can even hit compare, and it's going to show mine against theirs. Yep, that looks like it. All right. Let's see. Or, and just to make sure, every time I scroll into another picture, it's going to give me another possible ID. If 2 or 3 of them match up, which they are here, then I know that that's probably the right one, so I'm going to select it. All right, another thing you want to do is make sure, just scroll down to the range map and make sure you're in the right area. If it shows that that is only in China, then that's probably not the right species, but this one looks pretty good. I feel very comfortable about this. So I'm going to hit select. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure that my date and time have gone in here, and they have, because the smartphones, they have all the GPS data. They'll give the location and everything else. All of this looks really good, so now all I need to do is click on the check mark. And if you're on an iPhone, it's not going to be a check mark. It's actually going to say share. And when you do that, it'll go into iNaturalist. So now come up here to the top, and it's loading my image. And once it's loaded in there, it's taken a while, but once it's loaded in there, now I've got a brand new observation, and my number goes up to 4741. All right, so there's actually, and when I look at this and I see number 2 on the picture to the right, that just means someone else has gone in and verified my observation and made it research grade. Okay, there's our American pokeweed. Now let me show you the other way you can do this. The other way you can do this, once again, we click on that, and I'm going to go to take photo, that little green camera. When I do that, it's not going to save any pictures to my photo library. What it's going to do is I'm going to take a picture, and it's going to go straight into iNaturalist. I'm going to click on the check mark, and there it is. And then if I want to add a second one, I'll click on the little camera with the plus sign. I'll take another photo. There we go. And then everything else works just the way that the last one did. So you go to what do you see and all that, and then hit your check mark. All right, but I'm not going to do that. We're not going to add it twice. And that's it. So it's a really easy app to use. It's addictive, actually. I love this, and I use it all the time, and I hope that you enjoy it.